say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name's Greg from in5d.com. Something I wanted to cover here on Facebook, and you'll be seeing this on YouTube also. I'll end up uploading it to YouTube. You know, at one point during my awakening, I was thinking, okay, every name has a meaning, right? Where do these words come from? You know, you check out etymology and you check out, folklore and lineage and all that stuff, and you dig deep. You find answers, and that's what I did. This is the origin of month and day names, because they all have specific meaning, and you can find this on in5d. The link's up here. I'll put it in the chat as well. Even the word month. The word month comes from the word moon, so our months should be from new moon to new moon, which is the way our Creator God designed it. It could be called, if it came from the word moon, it actually should be called months, and there should be 13 months, because there's 13 new moons in a year. The calendar's out of sequence. It's not in harmonic balance with nature, intentionally. It's not the way they wanted it. They intentionally made certain months with 30 days, others with 31, and then here's February. What the fuck? So with it being out of harmonic sequence, it takes us out of harmonic sequence as well. We should be living in a 13 moon calendar. And there's some weird names that go on with this, and we'll get into that. All right, so January was named for the Roman god Janus. So we see the origin, the prefix Janus, god of doorways and beginnings. So January, the beginning of a new year. Okay, well, that makes sense. January is man's beginning, not God's. The Holy Bible reveals that God's new year is around March 21st, when the spring equinox occurs. That's interesting. So then we move into the messed up month of February. Named for the Roman festival of purification, February, first day of the carnival season, is always January 6th, which is 12 days after Christmas. This is called the 12th night, the King's Night, and marks the beginning of the private masked balls that are held until Mardi Gras Day. That sounds dirty. Private masked balls. Anyway, Mardi Gras Day, which is always Fat Tuesday, is the last and greatest day of the carnival season before their 40 days of Lent. So for the shortest month of the year, that's quite a story that they have for that particular month. March, short and sweet, named for the Roman god March, who was the god of war and guardian of the state. Mars was the father of Romulus and Remus. March. April is from the Roman calendar month of Aprilis, considered a sacred month for the goddess Venus. April also comes from the Latin word aprire. The meaning is to open, referring to a spring season, opening of the flowers and leaves. Venus, yeah, April, Aprilis. And May is named for the goddess Maya, the daughter of Atlas and one of the seven sisters of the Pleiades. And you notice the spelling M-A-I-A, May. So maybe it should be called Mai instead of May. Or maybe Maya should be called Maya. But it is interesting, though, that there's a month named after one of the stars in the Pleiades. June is named after the goddess Juno, the wife of Jupiter and queen of heavens and gods. July is named after Julius Caesar, July, in 44 BC. The month originally had the Roman name of Quintilis, meaning 5. Now that doesn't make sense, and we're going to see how this gets all out of sequence here as well. That's where it began to get out of sequence, and moving on, you'll see more examples of this. August was named for the Roman Emperor Augustus in 8 BC. The month was formerly known as Sextilis, meaning 6. Why would the 6th month be the 8th month? Doesn't make sense. And here's where the prefixes start to get out of whack. September comes from the Latin word septem, meaning 7, which was the 7th month of the calendar, yet we use it as the 9th month. How does that make sense? Why? But yet we're accustomed to it. Everyone knows that the 9th month is September, but if September means 7, shouldn't it be the 7th month? And the same with October, November, and December, as you'll see. October, from the Latin word octo, like an octopus, right? Meaning 8, which was the 8th month of the calendar. Yet we use it as the 10th month. November, from the Latin word novum, meaning 9, which was the 9th month of the calendar, and we use it for the 11th. And December comes from the Latin word decum, meaning 10, like deca, decade, which was the 10th month of the calendar. Yet we use it as the 12th month. So what do the days mean? All right, so now that we saw how we've been brought out of harmonic balance with the months, the moon months, what about the days? So the Greeks named the days week after the sun, the moon, and the 5 known planets, which were in turn named after the gods Ares, Hermes, Zeus, Aphrodite, and Cronus. Greeks called the days of the week the theon, hemerai, days of gods. The Romans substituted their equivalent gods for the Greek gods, Mars, Mercury, Jove, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. The Germanic peoples generally substituted roughly similar gods for the Roman gods, Tia, Tuia, Tu, Woden, Thor, Freya, but did not substitute Saturn. So we're all familiar with Sunday, obviously, the day of the sun, the chosen one, right? Or is it the sun, S-U-N, right? And then Monday would be Moon Day, the moon's day. So you have Sunday, the sun's day, and Monday, the moon's day. So it should be called Moon Day, right? You would think. And then Tuesday would be Tu, T-I-U, which became T-U-E, Tuesday. And that was after a Teutonic god of law, too. And that's why we have that word Tuesday. And then there's an addendum. Ares, Greek god of war, Mars. Mars is the Roman god of war. Ares is the Greek god of war. Those in power will use Tuesdays to launch wars and these kind of things. I don't know if I can say on Facebook or not, but you can read that. They rely heavily on numerology and have access to the most knowledgeable astrologers available to mankind. Wednesday, where does that come from, right? Hump Day. No, that's not it. Woden's Day would be it, though, which was another Teutonic god, Woden, Wednesday. I don't know how they got Woden. That's a long stretch, isn't it? Woden to Wednesday, and even Wednesday. I mean, we say it Wend, W-E-N-D. We pronounce it like that. Many of us do, but it's actually Wednesday. Who says Wednesday? Maybe everyone. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't. Wednesday. Actually, the D's kind of silent. As far as I'm concerned, Wednesday. Yeah. How do you guys say it? Do you pronounce the D? Do you pronounce the D before the N? Or do you actually pronounce it phonetically? Wednesday. Okay, so Thursday comes from the word Thor, Thor's Day. Wouldn't it seem weird if we actually pronounced these days like Tuesday and Woden's Day, Thor's Day? If we pronounce them from the origins, another, so Thor's another Teutonic god of war. Here we are today, if you're watching it live, or if you just happen to be watching on a Friday, Freya's Day. So Freya was a goddess of love, and that brings us to today, Friday. She was a Norse god. And then Saturday. I found this one to be one of the most interesting ones. So you have, the Sunday, the day of the sun, Moon Day, the day of the moon, and Saturn Day, Saturn's Day. There's a cult of Saturn. There's a really interesting article that I wrote on N5D about the cult of Saturn. And it gets really, really deep. If you want to go down the rabbit hole on what Saturn really means, the ring of Saturn, where do you see that? We see it all over the place. We see it on the Nike swoosh. That's the ring of Saturn. We exchange rings during weddings. The rings are rings of Saturn. Saturn in astrotheology is Satan. It gets pretty deep. Now, I'm not saying that anyone that got married and has a ring got married to Satan or anything like that. It's all, the intention behind whatever it is that you've done supersedes anything else, any other belief system. How you feel, that's all that matters. I found that to be really interesting. The whole, why are these days and weeks being called what they are, and how does that affect us? We don't think about Saturday being Saturn Day, and that there's a work week, and for a lot of people, Friday night is on Freya's day. You go out and you party. Saturday, that's your main day. If you're gonna, you're young and crazy, like many of us were at one point, you go out and you live it up on a Friday, and then you do the same on a Saturday, and then you really do it up on Saturday, actually. But Saturn Day. So they give us that day, the day of Satan in astrotheology, Satan's day, to live it up, to go out and get drunk. And what happens when you get drunk at a bar? I can tell you this. There are entities that hang out above the door at every bar. And when you get too drunk and you're walking out that door, that's where the attachment begins. And it's that easy to get some kind of negative attachment after you've been drinking the spirits, get a little inebriated. Just got to be real careful. So if you do partake in a few cocktails, I would suggest that before you leave, you protect yourself spiritually, and make sure that you call in all of your guides and angels to make sure that you stay safe, because it's at these places of these bars and taverns that these entities, they're lurking above the doorways, just hanging out, waiting for the right victim, the right person to attach themselves to. I'm going to wrap it up at that here on Facebook so I can get ready for the YouTube spirit chat coming up in about 15 minutes. If no one else has told you this yet today, if you're watching live or the recorded version, doesn't matter. Please allow me to be the first. You are loved. You are appreciated. Thank you for your service to humanity. So I hope to see all of you on In5D Spirit Chat in about 15 minutes or so on the In5D YouTube channel. I'll put a link to that here in Facebook. And until the next time, I'm Greg from In5D.com, sending you all infinite love and light. Namaste.